Yes. So now we are going to start with the chapter The Beggar. In The Beggar, there are three main characters, Sergey, Lashkov, and Olga. Sergey, who is an advocate, Lashkov is actually a beggar, but he was pretending or calling himself. At one time he is making excuse that he is a school teacher, and at another time he is making an excuse that is he is a student who is expelled from the college. Okay, next is Olga, who is the cook of Sergey. Okay, right? So now the beggar chapter is mainly about the life of Lashkov, that how a transformation has taken place in his life from a beggar who was begging for alms in the streets, and later on how he has turned into a civilized person who is earning, who is getting, or who is earning 35 rubles a month. The story is about Russian setup, that's why ruble is used, okay, which is a currency, okay, of Russia. So actually Sergey, who brought this beggar from the street to his house in order to employ him in his house for chopping the wood, but the beggar was not at all ready to do any kind of work. He was ashamed of this menial job. And later on, after 2 years, when one day Sergey has found Lashkov, he has found himself that he was properly dressed up, wearing a sealskin cap and a furry coat around his neck. And he was thinking that it was only the advice, the kind of, you can say, environment that he has provided to him, that he has turned into a beggar to a respectable man. But actually, who, according to Lashkov, it was not Sergey who has changed his life. Okay, then who has changed his life? If not Sergey, who has taken him from the street to his house, then who has changed his life? So this we are going to read in this chapter. Okay, so open up your books, please. Yes. So side by side, we are going to start with the reading, that is page number 62. Okay, so let us start the reading of the chapter. Page number 62 from the book Moments. So a very interesting story, heart touching, okay, including the influence, what kind of influence a person can make on somebody else's life. Okay, it was not only the kind that sometimes you show, but sometimes your remarks, the insulting remarks, they also work well. And who is that who has given such kind of remarks to Lashkov and ultimately changed his life? Sergey was quite kind to Lashkov. He has provided him an opportunity to earn. He has even given a letter of recommendation to Lashkov to go to his friend, where he started earning 35 rubles a month. But it was not Sergey who has changed his life. Then who? This we are going to read in this chapter. So let us start. Yes. Kind sir, have pity. Turn your attention to a poor hungry man. For 3 days I have had nothing to eat. I haven't 5 kopecks. Kopecks is Russian coins. Please note down the meaning side by side. Kopecks is Russian coin. Yes. So, who is speaking? These lines are spoken by the beggar who is begging on the street. He said, "Kind sir, please have pity upon my condition. Please pay attention towards me. I am really hungry. For 3 days, I haven't had any money to eat anything, and I have had nothing to eat, and not even 5 kopecks, very small amount. I don't have any coin to purchase anything, and I don't have even money to sustain my lodging, to live at a safe place. I swear it before God." He said, "Sir, what actually I'm saying is absolutely true. I'm not telling a lie. For 8 years, I was a village school teacher, and then I lost my place through intrigues. Intrigue means some secret plan to harm anybody. And I fell a victim to calumny. Calumny means false statement. Note down the meaning. False statements. So he's saying, now he was telling his background. Why he was telling his background? In order to impress, so that he would feel pity upon him and would give him money. So he said, sir, actually for 8 years I was working as a school teacher, but there somebody has organized an intrigue plan against me. They have passed on some false statements about me, and I was in the poor lights. Okay, and ultimately I lost my job. It is a year now since I have had anything to do, but a year has been elapsed, year has been passed. I don't have any work to do, and without work I don't earn money. That's why my condition has forced me that I should beg on in the streets. Now the advocate Sergi looked at the ragged fawn colored, fawn is light color, okay, light brown shade, okay, that is camel color, fawn-colored overcoat of the suppliant. Suppliant means the person who is making a humble clear request. That is person making a humble clear. Okay, so Sergi, who is actually an advocate, he was looking at the condition of the beggar. He was wearing rag clothes, okay, and that is fawn color rag clothes, okay, and ultimately he was just looking at the way he was making this kind of humble request, at his dull drunken eyes, at the red spot on either cheek, and it seemed to him as if he had seen this man somewhere before. He was looking at the man, his eyes were swollen as he was drunkard. Was he actually drunk? Okay, so we will come to know, right, further when we read. Okay, he was not actually a school teacher. Of course, he was drunk. His face was, you can say, his face was displaying his drunk condition. His cheeks were flushing with red color. Why? Because of after consumption of alcohol, there is increased amount of flow of blood in your body. So that's why, right? And but suddenly it's strike in his mind, no, I have seen this man before, but where he has seen, he was not remembering. So I have now had an offer of a position in the province of Kaluga. The mendicant means the beggar. The beggar, he went on. But I haven't any money to get there. Help me kindly. I'm ashamed to ask, but I'm obliged to by my circumstances. Oblige me, I'm forced by my circumstances. So ultimately he said, sir, actually, sir, now I have an offer situation to be vacant where I have to apply in the province of Kaluga. But right now I don't have even a single coin to go there. If you will help me, I can get this position filled for me. And please, he said, I'm not happy with this begging. I'm feeling ashamed of this begging, but I don't. My circumstances are not allowing me. So I'm forced to beg in the streets. Right? So you must have seen the beggars in the streets. They were making stories. Okay, like, please give some money so that I can eat. I haven't eaten for 3 days. I have a younger sister who is not well, like that. Okay. So Sergi's eyes fell on the man's overshoes, one of which was high and the other low, and he suddenly remembered something. Then suddenly Sergi's eyes, it fell upon his feet. He saw that the shoes he was wearing, one is high and one is low. Then, then he remembered something about this man. Look here. It seems to me I met you the day before yesterday in Sadovia Street, he said. But you told me that you were a student who had been expelled, not a village school teacher. Do you remember? Now, Sergi, it struck him that I have met this man. He remembered. Yes, he said, the other day you met me in the Savodia Street. There you were telling me that you are a student who was expelled from the college, and now you are telling a school teacher. So what is the reality? Now the beggar is caught. No, no, no. It can't be so, mumbled the beggar, taken aback. Aback means he was surprised, he was shocked. He has nothing to tell. He said, no, 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 this is not the reality. I am a village school teacher, and if you like, I can show you my papers. Now he has come to the point to show his identity. He said, no, no, I'm a village school teacher. If you insist, I will show you my papers. You can rely upon me. Have done with lying? You called yourself a student and even told me what you had been expelled for. Don't you remember? Now Sergi, who's an advocate, he remembered entirely. He said, on that day you told me that you are a student who has been expelled, and you have also given me the reason why you have been expelled, and now you are telling that you are a school teacher. It's really wrong on your part. Sergi flushed and turned from the rat creature with an expression of disgust. He was felt disgusting. Okay, for the man. He said he put his hands in this manner, and he said, no, I will not help you, and you are not a good man to be helped. Now see the another page, next page, 63. This is dishonesty, my dear sir, he cried angrily. This is swindling. I shall send the police for you, damn you. Now, again, Sergi was saying that you are doing really a wrong thing. You are cheating for money. You are telling a lie. I will send police to see you. That a beggar is that the beggar is begging in the street, and without any reason making excuses. Sir, he said, laying his hand on his heart. The fact as I was lying. I'm neither a student nor a school teacher. All that was fiction. Fiction means story. Formerly means earlier. Formerly, I sang in a Russian choir and was sent away for drunkenness. But what else can I do? I can't get along without lying. No one will give me anything when I tell the truth. What can I do? He said, he put his hand on his heart. Sir, actually, now he has come to an emotional point. Okay, he said, sir, what I'm telling you is absolutely wrong. I'm not a student nor a school teacher. Now he said, sir, actually, I was a part of a Russian choir. I was singing in that choir. But because I was a drunkard, I was drinking every day, I was sacked away. I was expelled. I was fired from that choir. Since then, I have nothing to do. I don't have any option except this begging. Okay, and no one, if I will tell this truth to everybody, no one will give me money. How can I cope up my life? So that's why I'm begging, making different stories. What can you do? You ask, what can you do? Cried Sergi, coming close to him. Work, that's what you can do. You must work. So you know, this is the first suggestion that we people are also giving to beggars. You have your body, you have body well enough in form, you can do work. Similarly, Sergi was also telling him, you have an option, you can work, you can earn money by working, you can do the work. Work, yes, I know that myself. But where can I find work? Sergi said, work, yes, sir. I know that I can do work and I can earn money. But who will give me? But who will give me work? Nobody is giving. I wouldn't refuse to do that. Sorry. Work. How would you like to chop wood for me? The next moment Sergi has offered him. Would you like to chop some wood for me in my house? I wouldn't refuse to do that. But in these days, even skilled woodcutters find themselves sitting without bread. Bread means without any work, they are not able to earn their food. Okay. So he said, sir, I wouldn't refuse to do that. But these days, I have also seen that many skilled woodcutters who are perfect in chopping of wood, they are also not getting work in this intense cold weather, and they are not getting any money. So how can this be possible for me? Will you come and chop wood for me? Sergi has come to a point. Will you come to my house to chop wood for me? Yes, sir, I will. He was trapped in his own words now, because earlier he said that he was a drunkard. Now Sergi has offered him that, would you like to work for me? Now he said, yes, I would work. He would never say no, but whether he was willing to do the work or not, let us see. Yes, sir, I will. Very well. We will soon find out. He said, okay, fine. We will soon find out a work for you. Sergi hastened along, rubbing his hands. He called his cook out of the kitchen. So Sergi, he went inside his house. He was rubbing his hands because it was cold weather. And inside the house he went and he called the cook, Olga. Okay, so here, Olga, take this gentleman into the woodshed and let him chop wood. He instructed Olga, take this man into the shed. There many logs of wood are there, so employ him. Tell him to chop some wood for us. The scarecrow of a beggar. What is scarecrow? Anybody in the online class also? Offlines. What is a scarecrow? You must be knowing. What is scarecrow? Statue is made in the fields to drive away the sparrows and the other birds so that they could not eat the grains. This is called scarecrow. So the beggar, he was too weak because of drinking. He has lost his complete strength, and the clothes he was wearing, it was just hanging on its thin structure. He was just looking like a scarecrow. That's why the word scarecrow is used. The scarecrow of a beggar shrugged his shoulders as if it's perplexity, okay, confused, and went irresolutely after the cook, irresolutely, without making any resolution, without making any firm decision. So this beggar, he shrugged his shoulders, okay, fine, I'll do, and he went after the cook. It was obvious from his gait, gait means walk. It was obvious from his walk that he had not consented to go and chop wood because he was hungry and wanted work, but simply from pride and shame, and because he had been trapped by his own words. So the way the beggar was moving, sometimes your expressions just showed, they just display whether you are willing to do the work or not. So similarly, what happened? He went after Olga into the shed. But the way he was moving behind Olga, it simply displays that he was not ready to do the work. Not just because he was weak with hunger. It was just because he was thinking it as a menial job. He was thinking it ashamed of himself to chop wood for somebody else. Yes. And it was obvious too that his strength had been undermined by vodka and that he was unhealthy and did not feel the slightest inclination for toil. Inclination means will. Okay, toil means work. It was just because he was a drunkard. His body has turned out to be weak because of excessive consumption of alcohol. Okay, and moreover, he did not have hardly any, you can say, any will to do any kind of hard work. Sergi turned into the dining room. From its windows, one could see the woodshed and everything that went on in the yard. So Sergi, in the window of his room, he was putting his hands in back like this, and he was just looking that Olga has taken the man into the shed, and she was now instructing him what to do. And standing at the window, Sergi saw the cook and the beggar come out in the yard by the back door and make their way across the dirty snow of the shed. And they passed the snow. Why the snow dirty? Because it has turned out to be dirty because of walking over there, right? And Olga glared wrathfully. She was looking continuously with anger at this man and shoved him aside with her elbow. Pushed him aside with her elbow, opened the door, unlocked the shed, and angrily banged the door. Okay, bang means pushed it with jerk. Next page, please. Next, he saw the pseudo teacher seat himself on a log and become lost in thought with his red cheeks resting on his fist. So next, what she has noticed, she has noted that this pseudo teacher means false teacher, who was calling himself a teacher. He was not ready to do the work. He sat on a log of wood, put his hands in this manner in his fist, and rested his cheeks because he was not ready to do any kind of work. He thought that this is my resting place that I have come for. Now, the woman flung down an axe at his feet. Axe means an instrument with which the wood is to be chopped. She threw the axe at his feet. Take this and chop the wood. Spat angrily, speaking angrily, and judging from the expression of her lips, began to scold him. And even Sergi had noticed that she was scolding him. The beggar irresolutely pulled a billet of wood. Billet of wood means log of wood. Log of wood towards him, set it between his feet, and trapped it feebly. Feebly means weakly. Now what he did, he took a log of wood. Suppose this book is a log of wood. Set it inside its feet, usko fix karne ke liye, and very weakly he put the axe on the log of wood. The log of wood would be chopped. No, it needs too much strength. Now, the billet wavered and fell down. Billet means that log of wood, it fell down onto the ground, but it was not chopped. The beggar again pulled it to him, blew on his freezing hands, and tapped it with the axe cautiously, as if afraid of hitting his overshoe or by cutting off his finger. The stick of wood again fell to the ground. So next what happened, that the beggar again pulled that log of wood, again sat up in his feet and put an axe over it, but he was afraid that that axe would not hit his finger or his overshoe. Again what happened, that the wood has again fallen to the ground. It means that he was not at all willing to do any kind of work. So next we will continue tomorrow.